Do you live in Dubai and you're super interested in Vastu? Then you are going to love this video because I'm sharing all my insights from my recent trip to Dubai, the exact mistakes I found in typical Dubai properties, and the kind of solutions I gave to them. So I'm going to talk about 8 different kind of properties that I saw during my time over there and the exact mistakes I found over there and how I helped them to fix it. The first property I'm going to talk about is a villa in a community area, and especially with regards to the master bedroom in the house. The second case I'm going to talk about is an apartment, and the exact problem is linked with conceiving and stress related issues. The third property that I'm going to talk about is a villa specifically catering to the interiors in the villa. The fourth property I'm going to talk about is this huge villa in another location, and specifically again talking about the interior color schemes impacting relationships. The fifth property I'm going to talk about is a villa linked with the problem of anxiety and stress, especially linked with the bedroom. The sixth property I'm going to talk about is another villa and specifically catering to their pool and the hidden issue we found there. The seventh property I'm going to talk about is linked with a villa and having a fish tank there, and how it was impacting the client's mental peace. The eighth case I'm going to talk about is with regards to a septic tank in a factory. Although these are observations based on the properties in Dubai, but the same principles would apply irrespective of wherever you live in the world. So now that is said, let's start with the video. The first case about the villa. Now, in this case, what was happening was on the first, so this was the plot and then this was the built up area. Now, if I blow up this built up area on the first floor, what exactly was happening was towards this side was their master bedroom. Now, when they looked at the rough center of the house, they thought that, okay, let me place my bed over here. As this is the master bedroom, it should be towards the southwest. However, like I keep telling you, that the southwest direction spans between 213 to 235 degrees and the south-southwest spans between 191 to 213. So in this case, what was happening was that this was not southwest, this was actually south-southwest. And south-southwest is an area linked with disposal. So what exactly was happening here was that the couple was constantly falling ill. One of the two members would always be ill. Also, the sleep quality was also not that great. So now the learning that we understand from this case is that just because you know that a master bedroom should be in the southwest does not mean that the southwest that you're checking is actually correct. This is a very common mistake people make. So make sure if you're trying to keep something in the southwest, don't accidentally keep it in the southwest, because that could be a big error, because southwest is linked with good relationships and good for sleeping, etc. But southwest is linked with disposal. Talking about the second case. Now in this case, this was an apartment like this, where this was the main entry, and then towards this side was their walk-in closet and their master bedroom. So this was the master bedroom, this was their walk-in closet, and this entire wall was a mirror. Now, because of multiple reasons, the couple was going through a lot of stress. And what I noticed was, with respect to the center of the house, this was falling between 101 to 123 degrees, which is actually the east-southeast direction of the house. Now, why is a mirror bad here? See, as per the element theory, the water converts to air, which converts to fire. Now, practically speaking, it's like saying that from wood you get fire, right? Wood catches fire. Now, imagine east southeast being an area where the wood is about to catch fire. For you to have a balance in your life, you need all the five elements in your space balanced. Now, if this area is about to catch fire, and if I put mirror there, which means if I'm trying to use wet wood for bonfire, what will happen? Will the fire actually light? No, right? So this is exactly what was happening over here. Because of this mistake, it was impacting their fire element, which was giving them a lot of stress and anxiety. As soon as I asked them to cover it, they started feeling it. So now, this is what we understand from here. If you want to keep a full length, full wall mirrors, make sure you're keeping it in the right directions. Moving on to the next case. Now, this was a villa where specifically there were interior related mistakes. Now, this villa was like this. It had common walls with the neighboring villas, and the constructed portion was around this much. Now, when I went to the upper floor, what was happening here was there was a room in which the entire room was colored purple. Now, if you haven't still heard my video about the purple color tone, please check this video. I'm also dropping the link of it in the caption below. If you love purple, or if you have colors, or if you have purple color tone in your interior space, you've got to watch that video where I'm explaining in detail why this is not suitable as per Vastu, irrespective of which direction you keep it in. In this house, this color was coming towards the northeast direction. Now, northeast direction is linked with mental clarity, which is why what was happening was there was a lot of confusion, even though everything is there, mental peace was missing. So which is exactly why the thing, of course, that I suggested to them was to change this purple color tone over here. Moving on to the next villa. Now, in this case, what was happening was, again, with regards to the color schemes, this was again a very, very big site with a villa like this, with a garage like this. When we went to the upper floor, let's say this is the upper floor. Now, this side was towards the southwest side, which was a bedroom area. Now, in this bedroom, every room had a highlight wall, like for interiors perspective, they had a highlighted wall in a particular color tone. Beautiful house. But this wall was actually painted green in color. Now, you must have seen my videos where I keep talking about how don't keep plants in southwest. So it's not just about the plants, it's about the color green doesn't work in southwest, and it directly impacts your stability and your relationships. And that's exactly what the client had been facing since the time they moved here, wherein from a career point of view, the stability was getting impacted, and from a relationship point of view, certain relationships which had been amazing for them started to deteriorate. So just because of a color scheme, you can face such big problems. So the conclusion or the learning from this is, do not take your color schemes lightly. Now, the next case that we saw here was a villa in which, again, so this was mostly a built-up area like this. Now, when we went to the upper floor, the master bedroom fell over here in the east-southeast direction, in a way that the couple was actually sleeping in the east-southeast area. Now, east-southeast area is actually linked with anxiety. So you can imagine, if you sleep in an area which is linked with anxiety, what is going to happen? Now, the learning from this case is that don't just see that, okay, as per the common notion, I know that, I should always keep my head towards the south and sleep. So wherever the south is, I'll keep my head there. No, that is true that keeping the head towards the south is good. But another thing that you also need to check while placing your bed position is with respect to the center, which direction is it really falling in? Because if it is not falling in the right direction, even if you have your head towards the south, you can still face issues. Going on to case number 6. Now, in this case, very interesting case, because this was this sort of a plot. The built-up area was something like this. They had properly aligned the pool in the correct direction. But what happened was, it was not just a pool. It was a pool with a jacuzzi. So they added a pump room over here. Now, a pump room, in this case, or usually how they do it in Dubai, is always below the ground. So now what ended up happening was that even though this side of the plot was east, this side started coming in east southeast. Because of which, what happened was the east southeast portion of the site became the lowest. Now, what is the problem with that? Now, like I said, that the east southeast is the area where the wood starts to catch fire, right? Any hole or pit in your ground acts as a water element. So even though this was a pump room and there was no water here, still since this was the deepest portion, the deepest point on the site, what this would be linked with is dealing everything you're trying to do. So which is why, again, when you're constructing your pool, if you are wanting to make a jacuzzi out of it or something else, make sure your pump room, if it is underground, also falls in the right place. Coming on to the case number 7, which was a villa like this, which had a garage in the front and a constructed portion like this. Now, in this case, what happened was, so they knew that having a water towards the northeast is great. So which is why they created, like on the ground, they created this sort of a small little pond. Now, in this pond, they also kept fishes. Now, the problem is that when you keep a fish would always move in concentric circles. So which is why, even though keeping water over there is great, but having the fish movement in a churning motion is not good, because this creates a churning in your mind. Because northeast is linked with mental peace and clarity, which is why if you want to have a fish tank in your house, make sure it's kept in the correct place. Northeast is not the right place. Moving on to the last case for this video. In this case, we realized that the client wanted to build a septic tank towards the southwest side of the plot. Now, in this case, what was happening was, because of the proportions of the size and because of the accuracy, by mistake, they dug up their southwest. Also, in general, right, when you're digging up, if you have to make this big of a septic tank, you'll actually dig up a little extra first and then you'll fill it up again. Now, in this case, what was happening was, because of this, they had dug up certain area of the southwest as well, because of which they were seeing a lot of stability related issues, which is why the learning from this is that if you're planning a septic tank for your factory plot, make sure you get the accuracy in place, you get the depth in place, so that you're not actually digging in an incorrect area. I hope these cases gave you certain insights to your house or certain other properties that you must have seen. In case you're looking for a consultation or a site visit for your house anywhere in the world, check the link in the description below, using which you can book a clarity call or a discovery call with our team to discuss your case and see if we can help you. I look forward to talking to you someday. Thank you so much for watching.